Hello, ladies and gentlemen. George here with another Advanced Squad Leader video. And this time around, I'll be comparing Squad Leader in its most elemental terms, comparing it to Sesame Street and the values that are in Sesame Street and Advanced Squad Leader. Now, before I go any further, the images that I am presenting are not my property, and I'm using them under fair use, and got them from Wikipedia. I don't know if that matters, but more importantly, I'm not making a dime off of them. All I'm having is coffee. Nescafe, 2 cream, 1 Splenda, or twin, whichever is affordable, and it's pretty good. So with no further ado, let's see the relationship between Sesame Street and Advanced Squad Leader. And more importantly, us Gen X people that grew up with the game, we're probably best equipped to play Squad Leader because we watched Sesame Street. Hands up everybody that watched Sesame Street as a kid. Heck, we used to watch it even in kindergarten. Let's go on with the show. If the computer wants to cooperate, let's see. Here we go. First similarity between Sesame Street and Squad Leaders, counting. So here we have the image of Count Von Count. And what do we do in Squad Leader? We count firepower factors. We count movement factors. We count movement points. Remember, movement factors are for infantry, and movement points is for vehicles, and the amount or percentage of movement factors expended can ultimately decide how far a vehicle can go that is carrying passengers or riders. Close combat odds. Now that's the most difficult math that you can do, is ratios in calculating close combat odds in Advanced Squad Leader. I mean, in practically every other war game, there's a table with the odds of success for the attacker versus the defender. Here, more often than not, we're counting 1 firepower factor, 2 firepower factors, 30 firepower factors, 36 plus. After 36, you don't need to count. That's pretty easy compared to, I got 20 attack points versus 10. That's a 2-to-1 ratio, 1 to 2. But now we're going to have column shifts. How can you get more easy than that? Counting. 2 kill 2. Don't forget. Table C 7.7. Yes. And all the other tables with penetration that modify the basic 2 kill number. Now, before I go any further, let's not forget, some folks actually count the number of games they've played and the number of hours they played the game, or the number of years, and for the old timers, the number of years they've played. Now, I didn't get into Advanced Squad Leader, playing Advanced Squad Leader. I would, previously to 2018, 2017, I would say, I don't know, 2019, around there, around post-pandemic time. The only thing I had in Squad Leader was Starter Kit 1 and Starter Kit 3. I eventually got the guts to get Starter Kit 2 somehow. I'm not sure if I got it from a store or I bought it online. And a couple of magazines, really, and the original Squad Leader game. And then good old Alain brought me up to speed as to why I should, get away from the old and go with the new. And I'm happy I did, because there's nothing better than having a complete, or all the modules that you want, all the nationalities that you want to play, and there's consistency between one module and the other. Anywho, let's go on to the other slide. Cookie Monster. Now, if you guys remember Sesame Street, you remember the old song, C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Cookie, 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 cookie. Cookie good enough for me. Um, so C stands for chapter C. Chapter C has ordinance. I misspelled ordinance. I'm pretty sure I misspelled ordinance. I'm challenged when it comes to spelling. Guns, critical hits, off-board artillery, light anti-tank weapons, and towing guns. I think the crux, crux starts with C. The crux of Squad Leader, uh, beyond infantry, uh, is Chapter C with ordnance, and that allows you to master acquisition. It allows you to master off-board artillery. Now, off-board artillery is not as complicated as you think. Okay, we do need a flow chart, but it's fine, guys. Don't be intimidated by it. Just remember, C is for cookie. Yeah, and from time to time, we have to review the book, and that brings me to my next point. My next point is the Sesame Street aliens. Yip 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 yip. So what do they represent? Rulebook dies. Remember when they first come to Earth with a little alien ship, and they come out and they see an object, and they what do they do? What do they do? They open up a book and say book 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 book. Open up the book. Here it is. Rulebook diving. That's what uh, Sesame Street prepared us for. Rulebook diving. If you have something that you don't understand, research it in a book. Basic, eh? Pretty basic. And even then, there's Q&A. More recently, sorry guys, more recently, um, I asked a question. That's a really basic question. Must an acquisition uh, follow? Must an acquisition marker follow the last lone um, target it fired at? And the answer to that question, remarkably enough, although it raised doubts in some people's minds, was, hey, um, it does. It does have to follow the target. You can't leave it in the old hex and then convert it to area target type. I didn't know that. I would, tend to forget about acquisition markers. No, it follows, and I'm guessing to see if it follows, it's a free line of sight check. Wow, it changes the game completely. But again, the only way to answer that question really is go into the book and read it, and then if you still have doubts, then go ahead and ask a question. I'm not particularly good at answering questions. I don't attempt to be a rule book lawyer or a rule book know-it-all, or to use a more polite term, I guess, a rule book gurus. But it is what it is. Next, does everybody remember? I'll turn off my video capture just momentarily so you can see the whole kit and caboodle. Bert and Ernie. So, what's that all about? Uh, Look how many beautiful. Now, I don't know if the relationship between Bert and Ernie was one of friends or lifelong friends, but look at look at what beautiful friendships have transpired from the game. You have Charles Hammond and Chad. You have Neil Hewlin and Scott. You have the folks from Two Half Squads, which is, look at their faces when they're talking about Squad Leader. Now, Neil in particular, that was a pretty serious episode, I suppose, and he doesn't seem to be smiling or particularly happy, but he should be happy. And I'm forgetting the fellows from spotting around here up in Canada and across the pond. Um, the other British fellows. I've compared them before to some other Disney characters, or was it Looney Tune characters? I don't know. Anyway, that's really um, phenomenal that such great friendships can evolve around a game like this. It's really unbelievable. What can I say? Anywho, let's move on and turn back on my handsome face that a mother only a mother could love. All right, come on. The big birds, the big birds, the fellows that are legendary in this game. And believe me, I couldn't fit enough people on here. I have Daniel Sakari, I have Neil Ewan, Jim Bishop, um, Todd from Wardrobe, Carl Noguera, Zoltan, Ollie Gray. There's a lot of good people in this game. Um, a lot of great people. So that those are the big birds. The big birds could be because of their ability to help others navigate this game. It could be because they are great at what they do, like Oliver Gray with storage and he even gets commissions to clip counters and and sort them in baggies. And Jim Bishop, let's not forget about his blogs that were beautiful examples of gameplay. Um, yeah, and there's a couple of other folks, man. Forgive me if I haven't put your name up, but you know who you are, especially the folks that are great at answering questions like, I don't know, Perry and I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce his name right or not. Forget it. My memory's shot. Now let's turn to the last character. Last character is Oscar the Grouch. Who do you think Oscar the Grouch would represent? You would think that Oscar the Grouch represents the people that express hate on this channel. But no, 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 no. I wouldn't say that at all. We gotta give those folks a little bit of grace and thanks. Their feedback, whether positive or negative, is appreciated as well. So we can't dwell on that. There's no room for hatred, and there's no room for negativity and folks that are like that come on the channel and say, you know what, you're not a master. I didn't say I was. I could produce a title of a video as I wish, and they say, you know what, stop doing what you're doing. It ain't gonna happen. It's gonna stop when I want it to stop, you know. So put that aside, right? There's already too much hate in the world. There's people that hate Trump. There's people that hate Britain, or they hate Stammer. They hate Carney. They hate Polyev. They hate Iran. They hate Israel. They hate Palestine. Why don't we just stop with the hate, right? Stop loving and stop hating. So who does Oscar the Grouch represent? Me. Me, because look, I don't shave in between my eyebrows. I live in my little can. I mind my own business. I love everything, good and bad. And you remember Oscar, you gotta hand it to him every time yeah, somebody mentions junk and whatnot. Hey, great, you know, positive attitude. You know, I don't bother anybody. There you go. Or at least I think I don't. But anywho, so I had to pay a little bit of tribute to myself as well. There it is. Anyway, folks, 15, nearly 15 minutes in, and that's my short video of the day. Now, you probably are wondering, why, George, didn't you do a video about a game with a hex board and units and counters? I'm working on it. Unfortunately, I'm working on a couple of other things as well, like trying to fix my basement. And you know what? Fix the basement, declutter, and hopefully get some live play in my house. Because today, a fellow that lives nearby, you know, asked if I could go over to his house and play with a bunch of guys, and I can't due to life commitments. You know, I got to do my shopping today. I got to stick around, spend some quality time with my children, and it would be great if I could host some games here as well. Being single and everything, and I can also uh, whip up some sandwiches, snacks, and have a gay old time. You know what I mean? Yeah, a good old time downstairs without having to budge. You know, and relationship wise, I'm single, so I should have the time to do it. And that's it. I'm also working on, getting my house ship shape. It never ends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, the best way to advertise is by word of mouth. Let let your folks know about it. Let your best friends know about it. Um, Share, like, subscribe. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Take care and see you next week.